What's up guys, welcome to another tutorial of C++, and this is the second tutorial. So in this tutorial what we're going to do is we're going to learn a couple of new things like data types and identifiers. So identifiers and data types is what we're going to learn. So before that we're going to create a little program, and on that I'll tell you guys what is the identifier and what is a variable and what is a variable type. So that would be much easier. So let's go ahead and type in int and int a, and might when assign the value to it. So int a equals 5 and the semicolon, and int b, so int b would be equal to, let's say, 10 and terminator or semicolon, and in c, so in c would be the answer, so add a semicolon to that. And we might want to create a little formula that like c equals a plus b. So, and we might want to see out this thing or print out the answer on the screen. So see out c and endl. Oops, we forgot the terminator over here. So semicolon, sorry about that. So semicolon at every end, at the every end of the line. So that tells the compiler that this line has been terminated, or the this code has been like initiated, or this code ends like here. So this semicolon is very important. So you guys will be noticing from the last tutorial I have not written here return 0. So return 0 is not that important, but the modern compilers, what they did was, if you forgot to write the return 0, they would forgive us. So if I've run the program and it says 15, that's pretty simple. So what I go and remove this return 0 over here. So when I go and build and run this again, you can see that 15 prints and nothing odd appears here. So the modern compilers, I'm using code blocks, and code blocks forgives your return 0 if you do not write it. So that's a cool thing. So this is your variable type. This int right here is your variable type, and this is pretty much your identifier, and this 5 here is the value. So an identifier, what are the rules of identifier? An identifier begins with an underscore or with a letter, an alphabet, ABC, a capital ABC or a small ABC, like underscore ABC or ABC, not with an not with a digit, like not like 1 2 3. So how about we go and build and run? It shows a little error, that error invalid suffix a or integer constant, and some errors like that. So that is invalid. So let's just go ahead, and I've created a little something for you over here. So rules to form an identifier: first character must be an alphabet or an underscore, can consist of alphabets, digits, and underscore. But hey, digits, it cannot start with digits. It can contain digits, but it cannot start with digits. So C++ is a case sensitive language. That is the third point. For example, Talha is not same as Talha. These are entirely two different things. So uppercase and lowercase, that is what case sensitive language matters. So if you use uppercase letters and consider them same as lowercase letters, so that is not valid. So some of the predefined identifiers are cout and cin. Unlike reserved words, predefined identifiers may be redefined, but it would not be wise to do so. So these are some valid identifiers, and these are some invalid identifiers. So you can see that a is a valid, underscore is a valid identifier, and these are not valid identifiers. Why? Because this one is having 1 and this one is having a plus. Plus is in this case is not valid, and dollar in this case is not valid, and this period is not valid, and this minus is not valid, and this quotation, double quotation mark is not valid, and this space is not valid, and this exclamation mark is not valid in this case, and all these are valid. So let's just return to our program. And what was the second type? The second type was float. So float float, that is your another variable type. So okay, so before floor I'm gonna tell something a little about identifiers. So basically they are like how can I explain it, they are like pen and pencil. So you can write with a pen and pencil and not with a rubber. So basically the you can say identifiers are letters or underscore or the valid way of defining a variable or defining a class or macros or some similar things like that. So just remember in your head that you can write with a paper and pencil and you cannot write with rubber. So just remember, that's the key to remember in your that's a little logic actually. So float is like the decimal points. So float is accurate up till 5 places and doubles are accurate up to like double of that. So doubles are more accurate and long doubles are more accurate. So I can type in like 5.123 and 10.123 and rerun this program again, and you can see this 10.101.28 disappears. Why? Because our int that was in the third one was in the third one and the second one was not defined as floats. So let's just define this float and define this one as float 2, and I'm gonna go and close this program, this existing program, and rerun this again, and hopefully we don't have any errors. And there you go, 101.28.1. so float is like, and float is just the decimal thing. So although this one the B is not the decimal, but hey, you get the point. So we have covered the float, and another thing I want to cover was this, as you can have as many spaces as you can and as many tabs as you can, that doesn't matter on the program. You might want to go and close this existing program and run this program again so that nothing odd appears. So all is the same. It's just your personal preference that how your program looks, and it looks a bit neat if you create a little tabs over here. So it depends on your choice. So if you want to add tabs over here, you can. So that was another thing. And one thing I want to tell is the difference between the float and double. The float are less accurate, but they take less memory. The doubles take more memory. So the double take 8 bytes and the float take 4 bytes, and the int type that also take 4 bytes. So in the next tutorial I'm going to be talking about character data type. So that is a little tricky, so that is why I've not included in this tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. So thank you. I'm saying so much.